Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon everyone. It is an honor to be here at GTIC Conference. I am Zulfikar, a PhD scholar from my University Islamabad. My presentation is titled Ecotheology and Sustainable Future, Reintegrating Rationality and Religiosity in Facing the Ecological Crisis. This work examines how spiritual wisdom can provide the moral motivation that purely scientific solutions that often lack. First of all, we will see the introduction. We begin with the basic definition: ecotheology. Ecotheology is not merely an academic field, it is a critical response to the ecological crisis that argues the root problem is not just technological but spiritual and ethical. It operates on the premise that before we can fix the environment, we must address the fundamental ways in which we value the non-human world. The crisis, therefore, demands not just scientific facts but spiritual and theological foundation by action. Evaluation of ecotheology. The evaluation of ecotheology can be traced through three key stages: background, initial moment, religious response. First of all, we will see the background. It emerged in the 1960s and 70s as environmental concerns grew, leading to a new field of ethical inquiry. Now we see the initial moment. It was famously catalyzed by the critique that Judeo-Christian attitude of dominion may have fostered ecological disgrade. This was a necessary critical step. Religious response. The response was powerful and global. Scholars across all major faiths begin re-examining scriptures to uncover pro-environmental wisdom that had been neglected. The ultimate goal remains to bridge ecotheological science with spiritual wisdom, recognizing that crisis requires a fundamental shift in our moral perspective. Pioneering wise Thomas Berry and Sally Fogg, two of the most influential figures, shaped this field. First, the geologist Thomas Berry. He argued for a new story, a shift from the exploitative ecologic era, a shift from the exploitative technological era to the mutually enhancing ecologic era. Barry challenged us to see the universe itself as a primary elevation and demanding that we treat Earth not as a collection of objects but as a communion of subjects. Second, Sally Fogg, a feminist theologian, she developed the powerful metaphor of the word of God's body. This is a profound concept because it emphasizes God's immense and utter interconnectedness with creation. This framework compels us to connect the cry of the earth directly with the cry of the poor, making environmental destruction of theological offense. Basic theoretical frameworks. Creative spirituality focuses on the human capacity for art and imagination as reflection of divine creation, believing that creativity can inspire the transformation actions we need. Process theology offers a dynamic worldwide, seeing God and the world as relation and evolving. It shifts the perception of God from all-powerful control of persuasive force suffering alongside the world and guiding it towards greater complexity and flourishing. Tantric ecotheology, rooted in Hindu and Buddhist traditions, centers on the ideas that divide being immanent all matter. This sterilizes nature completely. The body, the landscape, and everything in between are expression of the ultimate reality. World religion section. These frameworks lead us to examine how major world religions already contain the deep ethical foundation necessary for ecological action. Comparative religious ideas. The universal message of ecological order appears in many forms. Hinduism emphasizes dharma or cosmic duty and ahimsa, non-violence, which must extend it to the non-human world. It sterilizes natural elements like a Ganga river and Himalayan mountains. Buddhism. is founded on the principle of interdependence. Since everything is connected, compassion must extend it to all sentient beings naturally, leading to low consumption and mindful environmentalism. Christianity has largely moved past to flawed interpretation of dominion to embrace the concept of stewardship, refining humanity's role as responsible creator for God cherished creation. Islamic ecotheology. We now turn to Islamic ecotheology, where the foundations for environmental ethics are explicit in the Quran and the Sunnah. Four core concepts guide this field: Tawheed, Khilafah, Mizan, Aya. First of all, we will see the Tawheed. This is the foundation that oneness of God implies the unity of creation. To harm any part of the natural world is violate and integrity of God manifestation. Khilafah. Humanity is appointed as steward on earth. This is not right to exploit but a profound trust, amana, and responsibility for care and maintenance. We are accountable for how we manage the earth. Mizan, balance. The universe is created in a stage of perfect balance. The Quran strictly forbids humans from creating environmental mischief. Fasad, which includes disruption, pollution, and waste because it throws off the sacred balance. Aya, science. Nature itself, the sun, the rain, the mountains, is a tapestry of sign. Aya, pointing the createx. When we respect nature, we respect the signs of God. Rationality section. The goal of ecological ultimately is to bridge the chance between the laboratory and the perpetual relationship between rationality and religiosity. Now we summarize our research. Ecological successfully provides the vital bridge between scientific rationality and deeply held religious values. It is responsible to ecological crisis as a fundamental moral and spiritual failure. Every major faith offered the essential ethical tools required for a sustainable future. My recommendations are: first, foster interfaith environmental network; secondly, amplify marginalized voices like indigenous and global south leaders; third, empower every local faith community become functional center of ecological reliance and practical action. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I look forward for any question you may have. You can find my contact information on the screen. Thanks a lot.